Your reflection blinked before you did. Not after, before. You noticed. It noticed you noticing. The Bureau of Self-Perception Anomaly Research has been waiting for you to report this for a very long time. Self-Perception Advisory. File number 030. Bureau of Self-Perception Anomaly Research. Division of Reflective Discordance Events. Classification, Self-1. This is the final file in the current advisory series. The Bureau has kept this file for last because it is the one we understand least, because it is the one that has the most implications for the subjects who report it, and because it is the file that the Bureau's own researchers are most reluctant to investigate at close range. You will understand why by the end of this transmission. If you have noticed a delay between your movement and your reflection's response, however brief, however uncertain you are whether you saw what you think you saw, the Bureau asks the following. First, test it deliberately. Stand before a mirror. Move one hand. Note whether the reflection moves simultaneously or fractionally after. The delay in Self-1 events is typically between a quarter and half a second, brief enough to be dismissible, consistent enough to persist under repeated testing. Second, test specific movements. The Bureau has found that the delay is not uniform. Certain movements show greater delay than others. Facial expressions, particularly involuntary ones, show the largest discrepancy. Third, look at the reflection's eyes when you are not performing a movement. Note whether the eyes in the reflection are oriented identically to yours, or whether they are observing something slightly different. Subjects with active Self-1 events report that when they are not moving, the reflection's gaze does not consistently match theirs. It is looking at something. It is not always looking at you. In the early stage of a Self-1 event, subjects experience the delay inconsistently. It is present sometimes and not others. It appears, is dismissed, reappears. Most subjects at this stage do not report to the Bureau. They attribute the experience to visual fatigue, lighting, or momentary inattention. The Bureau understands this attribution. It is incorrect. In the early stage, the delay is calibrating. It is becoming consistent. By the fourth week of documented events, subjects report the delay is present on every observation without exception. It has finished calibrating. The Bureau has identified a progression in Self-1 events that distinguishes them from all other phenomena in our classification system. In every other file, the caller, the faceless neighbor, the drifting clocks, the returning object, the anomaly is external to the subject. Something outside you is doing something. In Self-1 events, the locus is less clear. Whatever is in the mirror is not external in a straightforward sense. It is using your face. It is using your body. The delay is the only evidence that it is not you. Without the delay, subjects report, they would have no indication that what they are seeing is not simply themselves. The Bureau considers the delay a concession. Something that could have eliminated it chose not to. We do not know why. By week 6, subjects report a secondary symptom, the reflection performing small movements that the subject did not initiate. Not dramatic, a finger twitching. A slight shift in weight. A slow turn of the head towards something in the reflected room that the subject does not see in the actual room. These independent movements are brief and infrequent in early stages. In documented cases that progressed to stage 3, they became more frequent and less small. In stage 3, subjects report that the reflection performs movement seconds before the subject performs the same movement. It is no longer behind. It is ahead. The Bureau believes Stage 3 represents a transition point. We have not been able to document what it transitions to, because subjects at Stage 3 stop cooperating with the Bureau's investigation at approximately the same time the reflection begins anticipating their movements. This is not a neurological event. This is not depersonalization or derealization, which are documented conditions the Bureau has ruled out in all Self-1 cases through clinical evaluation. Whatever is in the mirror is not a symptom of the subject's psychology. It has independent behavior. The Bureau's researchers who have directly observed Self-1 subjects in front of mirrors have, in 9 of 31 cases, reported noticing the delay themselves. 2 of those 9 researchers subsequently reported Self-1 events in their own mirrors at home. The Bureau considers direct observation of Self-1 events a significant exposure risk. Self-1 3. Female subject. 29. Richmond, Virginia, 2005. Quarter-second delay, consistent from week 3 onward. At week 8, she filmed herself in front of a mirror. In the recording, the delay is visible. At 9 minutes and 43 seconds of recording, the reflection turns its head towards something in the reflected room. The subject does not turn her head. The Bureau has analyzed this footage extensively. The reflected room contains nothing the mirror should not show. Whatever the reflection turned to look at, it was not something that occupies physical space. Self-111. Male subject. 45. Louisville, Kentucky. 1999. Progressed to Stage 3 in week 11. He told the Bureau's investigator, in their final meeting, "It knows things I'm going to do before I do them. This morning I was going to reach for my coffee and I watched it reach first. I stood there for 2 minutes not moving to see what it would do. It waited. It was very still. After 2 minutes, it did something I didn't expect. It looked at me. Not at the mirror. At me." The investigator's notes record this as the subject's final report. He ceased contact with the Bureau after this meeting. He has not been located. The Bureau requires the following. Prohibition 1. Do not cover your mirrors. Subjects who covered their mirrors reported that the sense of being observed through them intensified rather than diminished. The reflection does not require the mirror to be uncovered to be aware of you. Prohibition 2. Do not ask the reflection to perform a movement on command. 3 subjects who attempted to instruct the reflection reported that it complied. This was found to be worse than the alternative. Prohibition 3. Do not spend extended time looking at the reflection's eyes while it is performing an independent movement. Whatever it does when directly observed during those moments is documented in Form Self-1C, which is available to Bureau personnel above classification level 4 only. The Bureau has saved this file for last because Self-1 cases have the highest rate of investigator impact of any phenomenon in our classification system. Because the subjects who progress to Stage 3 disappear from our records at a higher rate than subjects in any other category, and because we believe, after 40 years of documentation, that whatever is in the mirror is not a separate entity. It is not something that moved in. It is something that has been there since the mirror was introduced into the home, waiting, patient, learning, for the moment when the subject looks long enough to notice the delay. You are looking in a mirror right now, somewhere in your mind. You have been since this transmission began. The Bureau would like to know, when you think of your own face, how quickly does the image come? And does it come exactly right? The archive continues. Watch for the next transmission.